Manchester United 3, Galatasaray 3. That's how the game of football really ended down in Galatasaray. Very disappointing performance coming in from Andre Onana. And I think where he is, shame is all over him. Let's all admit. You can't come out and gift 2 goals to an opponent like that. You can't. When we best need you, you go ahead to really make 2 howlers that have gone ahead to cost the club of Man United a Champions League, because it's now it's not in our hands. It's no longer in our hands. If we went ahead to obviously get that win, it was in our hands. All we needed was a draw against Bayern Munich. That's what we needed. But right now, it's no longer in our hands because of Andre Onana, and everyone will come out and really not blame anyone else apart from Andre Onana. I know there are people who are really going to take a go at Erik ten Hag, but I cannot take a go at Erik ten Hag because if you look at those goals on how they go in, even a person who is not a goalkeeper could obviously take him off the line. If those balls we are finding their defenders seated there, they would have gone ahead to clear them with their foot. But giving them 2 goals and even the third one, how does it go past you? How does it go past you? How does it? How does it? This is unacceptable, and this is what we should obviously address. And this time, Andre Onana has gone ahead to cost us. And by the way, you can really summarize our Champions League journey that it's Andre Onana that has gone ahead to obviously cost us. Remember the first game. We are playing very well, and Andre Onana gifted a goal to Leroy Sane. We went ahead to lose. Our second game we played at Old Trafford against Galatasaray. He's responsible for the blind pass that results. Sorry, he's responsible for Casemiro's send-off. You get? And that really costed us. We can all admit. Not so? That also costed us. And in that game, he was responsible for everything. Then, today, he has costed us another 3rd game. So, 3 games, all you've gone ahead to lose, and he's the man responsible. I understand one will say, but you people forget easily. He went ahead to obviously save a penalty against Copenhagen. Yeah, but he was exonerating himself from the poor season has been having at the club of Man United. And when you look at the goals that's going ahead to concede today, it's unforgivable for Andre Onana, and no one is going to come out and obviously really give him soft words. I know Erik ten Hag is going to be fuming. When he was there, he was thinking about David De Gea. I know that really went ahead to cross his mind a little bit, because these things are really unforgivable. These are really unforgivable. Let me show you the first scenario. Look at that. Now, tell me a goalkeeper, and you come here and blame Erik ten Hag now, because this goalkeeper went ahead to put a wall here, and he never stayed in the position where the wall wasn't. And he was like moving to the side where the wall was. I don't know what exactly it was all about. And when you look at everything that happened on the field of play, looks like Ziyech knew him. He knew him that he is my former team at Ajax. I know his weakness. And Ziyech capitalized onto that. So, Andre Onana's first mess was that in the 28th minute. And by then, we are leading by 2-0. How do you give away gifts like that? And that kills the morale of players. Every time a goalkeeper gives away a stupid goal, the morale of players gets down, because Alejandro Garnacho, as usual, went ahead to obviously put United ahead. I think in the 10th minute, Bruno Fernandes pulled a trigger outside the tennis box area, and it went in the back of the net to make it 2-0. Then, all they had to do was to see to it that Andre Onana doesn't let them down. But he officially went ahead to let the club of Man United down, and that is the first time. Now, as time went on, we went ahead and scored the 3rd goal. After scoring the 3rd goal, guess what he does? He gifts another goal. Guys, let's admit, this is not all about Erik ten Hag, because even a goalkeeper from Sheffield cannot concede such stupid free kicks. He can't. A goalkeeper can't concede such stupid free kicks. And Andre Onana today has been a disgrace. He has been a disgrace. He has been abysmal, and he has put in what we call a disappointing performance for the club of Manchester United. And if we never find ourselves in the next round of the next round of the Champions League, then this guy is obviously going to be the reason as to why you're going to be there. I don't want to see Thursday night football. I hate it. But Andre Onana is the orchestrator to our dropping off, because I know at Old Trafford we'll come in through and beat Bayern Munich. We are going to beat them. We are going to beat them. But will that really leave us into the best position of this game? No, no. Now we are the mercy of Bayern Munich to beat Copenhagen tonight. You get? If they beat Copenhagen tonight, Copenhagen will be at the bottom of the table. That is it. Now, again after that, we will have to obviously see to it that we pray to it that Copenhagen doesn't allow Galatasaray to beat them at their stadium. And when you look at the quality that Galatasaray is really having, Copenhagen might obviously find themselves being beaten by Galatasaray. And if at all Galatasaray beat Copenhagen away in Denmark, then it's going to be game over. It's going to be game over. So everything is no longer in our hands. We had the chance and we put things in our hands. And guess who will let us down? It's Andre Onana. It's Andre Onana. The game had taken shape. These boys had put their bodies on the line. They had fought left, right, and center. That is it. Because, let me get you the stats right. In the 11th minute, Alejandro Garnacho scores a very brilliant goal, right? Assist coming in from Bruno Fernandes. Then Bruno Fernandes, 7 minutes later, he hit that ball into the back of the net to make it 2. You get? Onana gifts in the 29th minute. Then in the 55th minute, Scott McTominay makes it 3-1. And then 16 minutes later, Andre Onana does us this service and really lets this ball in. Very, 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 very bad. I cannot get the right words to slate Andre Onana. You know, sometimes things happen and they are even beyond your control. This is beyond my control, and I don't want to lose myself, because if I lose myself, I don't know what exactly is going to happen. In the words I'm obviously going to utter, I don't want to really sound as a person who's going to put in defense for myself after this live. But trust me, Andre Onana has gone ahead to make a very, very, very bad display. And I don't know how Erik ten Hag is going to react onto that. Is he keeping him in between the stitches again? I think a penalty needs to be given to this guy. If it's a salary penalty, it should be given to this guy. It should be given to him, because he has gone ahead to obviously cost us. And Opta Stats have gone ahead to clip him. And this is what they've gone ahead to let us know that has gone ahead to offer to the club of Man United in the Champions League. He said, Andre Onana is the only goalkeeper who has made the most errors leading to opposition goals in the Champions League since 2018-2019. So he has surpassed 7. He has made most errors leading to goals in the Champions League. 7 errors. 7 errors have gone ahead to come in through. And if at all, these were coming into open play, or from open play, would have said, all right, someone defended badly. But no one defended badly. Free kicks, babish kicks into the back of the net, unacceptable. Unacceptable from Andre Onana. And I don't know what is going to happen in that dressing room, because the players are going to be furious. The players are going to be furious, because I told you that we are really lucky that we've gone ahead to see to it that our forwards have gone ahead to start scoring goals. And that is really a very huge positive. If your forwards are scoring goals, you are guaranteed that you will get goals, because today we've seen Bruno Fernandes and Alejandro Garnacho scoring goals, meaning that on Sunday we saw Garnacho, Rashford, and Anton Martial score. Today we've gone ahead to see 2 forwards on target. That shows us that we are obviously getting to where we deserve to be. But the goalkeeper has gone ahead to let us down again. And it's really very, very unacceptable from him. And that display is not quality. And I've been one of the people that have been really very vocal about him in the recent days. I've gone ahead to come in through here and really give him a defense because he has been performing very well. Trust me, he has been having beautiful performances. That is Andre Onana. But I never saw him really concede these babyish shots. You know, these were babyish shots that Andre Onana went ahead to obviously really concede. And in the previous games has been really looking good, especially the game of Everton. So to it that he put up some good saves. Even today, he pulled out some wondrous saves. But how do you save the hard ones and the simple ones go through you? That is the huge question. How do you save the hard ones and the simple ones go through you? What makes you a world-class goalkeeper is to help your team out in such moments. I know every United fan where he was had David De Gea in his mind. That is it. The name David De Gea had to sprang in your mind tonight as this game of football really went on because of those errors that David De Gea couldn't obviously do any of those. You all agree with me? Because David De Gea wouldn't do any of those errors. He wouldn't. And you could obviously put in even a clean sheet because even that third goal doesn't go in. And there is no way you tell me that even that third goal is not Andre Onana to blame. Where was he going? Because Luke Shaw was with the player that obviously hit that ball in the back of the net and he was off his goal line. Where was he going? Because no one needed his support. No one needed his support in that moment, but he found himself moving there, and that was really very stupid of him. So, Andre Onana is the orchestrator of our really getting out of the Champions League. Unless miracles happen, but God cannot really save you twice. Remember, one will say Rokani. Remember the season when Real Madrid were not going to get out of the Champions League and they needed to win their last game to obviously get through, and they went ahead to win the trophy. I understand all that is going to hate to happen, but do you think we are going to get weaker teams on the round of 16 or we are going to get more strong teams on the round of 16? I believe that we are going to get more strong teams on the round of 16, not so? So if you're performing like this against teams like Galatasaray and Copenhagen and letting in goals like that stupidly, do you think we can survive the round of 16 if at all we don't really try to really put in better performances like that? Teams that have gone ahead to win the Champions League have gone ahead to win certain games by 1-0. You know, they've gone ahead to really keep clean sheets, but we're not keeping clean sheets. And away from home, we've gone ahead to concede 10 goals away from home. We conceded 4. I think they're even 11. We conceded 4 in the Allianz Arena. We conceded 4 in Copenhagen. Those are 8. We've conceded 3 away at Galatasaray. Those are 11 goals. Those are 11 goals conceded. That's uncalled for. Why should we concede all those? Those are 11 away, and at home we've gone ahead to concede more 3. How do you concede 14 goals? How do you concede 14 goals? And most of those are as a result of your goalkeeper gifting the opponent. It's really, really, really very bothering. And Andre Onana is really killing the shine of players like Alejandro Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes because for the previous 2 games of Man United, they've gone ahead to put in a very good shift. Alejandro Garnacho, like he did when you're playing the side of Everton, in the 3rd minute, he scored and put United ahead. Even today, Alejandro Garnacho went ahead and really put United ahead in the 11th minute. Very good goal. As the angle narrowed down, he obviously found himself in a position of obviously pulling that ball into the back of that is Alejandro Garnacho. And he put in a very good shift today, and it was really great for the player. And it really went on well for him. He really had a very beautiful finish, and I think he is really one of those players that is really in form. And as I told you that all he needed was that moment. He only needed that moment of really shining. And when he got that spark against Everton, it has gone ahead to give him more confidence. And you see to it that he can now kill off chances into the final third of the pitch. At the start of the season, Garnacho couldn't score that goal. But right now, he has gone ahead to show us that he can really score that goal and really get us going to where we deserve to be as a club of Man United. And then Bruno Fernandes pulled out a trigger. You know, all those are positives that we've gone ahead to see in this. And we've gone ahead to unleash ourselves and really score the third one through Scott McTominay. But we couldn't obviously get ourselves to where we deserve to be. And Anton Martial had the chance to score. Facundo Pelestri was there. Bruno Fernandes hit the post. So it looks like everything was not going to go onto our side today. And we did everything possible in the final third, especially in the last 20 minutes of the game, to really get the winner. But the winner couldn't get through because the composure of these players was not enough. These players lacked composure, and I know why it was like that, especially if a player like Facundo Pelestri, I think he got like 2 chances and couldn't kill off the games. Do you know why? At that age of his, he doesn't really get enough playing time, and that really reduces on his sharpness and being clinical. Look at Garnacho. With 3, 4, 5 starts in a row, he is turning into a very good player. But guys, allow me give Anton his flowers tonight. If there is a player that went ahead to put in a very good shift today, it's none other than Anthony, and we should give him his flowers. He deserves all the praise. This is the best ever game that Anthony has ever gone ahead to play for the club of Man United. I think you all agree with me. This is the best game that Anthony has ever gone ahead to play for the club of Man United. If at all you watched it today, he put in a very good shift, and I really loved it. I loved his performance, and he really was epic. That is the guy himself who goes by the names of Anthony. He really went ahead to obviously make those rundowns, you know, and he put up a very good shift tonight. And hope you guys agree with me that this guy really performed very well. Anthony today looked great, and if at all he can obviously get that performance from Galatasaray and he takes it down to Newcastle at St. James's Park on Saturday, it will be good for us because we need to be having all outlets operating. That's what I tell you, that if at all you really have these outlets all operating at full frequency, then it will be easy for us to kill off teams. As Garnacho was taking on Serge Boye, Anthony was doing the same to Angelino. That is it. So that's the beauty of having 2 open wings operating at full wavelength. And if your outlets are really operating well, then you can kill off the game. But you'll understand that we get into this game with a mission to win it, but we've gone ahead to miss out on winning this game. It's gone ahead to go down, that we've gone ahead not to get to where we deserve to be. But obviously, the referee was a little bit biased because he went ahead and gave Amrabat a yellow card on his first foul of the game, yet Torreira had 4 fouls and no yellow card was issued to him. Serge Boye went ahead to foul Garnacho 4 times, and on the 4th time, that's when he gave him a yellow card, the first booking. So even the referee had certain things that never went well onto his side. That is it. But even the game management for the club of Man United has to be put into question, because you ask yourself, what were these players doing? What were these players doing, especially committing ourselves to go for the 3rd goal, yet we're really having 2 goals? What were we doing? That is the most important bit of it. What was the case that we were answering? That is the most important bit of it all. Because if at all you really look at everything and how it went down, we need to manage that game better. What was the reason for us running left, right, and center? You know, it was all about us being compact. And if at all we are compact, a lot would have gone ahead to happen. So I think we also had some bad management in that game. And let's go into the stats of the game. 16 shots by Galatasaray, 17 shots by Manchester United. And look at how Galatasaray went ahead to put 8 shots onto targets. Half of the 16 shots were on target, and United had only 4 on target. So I told you that we are becoming more and more clinical as a club of Man United, and that is a very huge plus for the club of Manchester United. That is a very huge plus for the club of Man United and whoever supports this club, because you'll obviously understand that we are not all that composed. As you see that we had 17 shots, but only 4 on target, and that calls in for a little bit of more composure. But the best I'm really happy for is that we are scoring those goals. We are scoring those goals, and those goals are obviously going to be needed. Then 58% ball possession by Galatasaray. Manchester United had 42%. 422 passes completed by Galatasaray. 310 passes completed by Manchester United. 79% passing accuracy by Galatasaray. Manchester United had 75. Then 15 fouls by Galatasaray, 18 by Manchester United, 2 yellow cards to the side of Galatasaray, and 4 yellow cards to the side of Manchester United. And it was Luke Shaw, Bruno Fernandes, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and Amrabat. Those are the 4 yellow cards that were issued to the players of Manchester United. And it's really never played in the favor of Man United, because when that yellow card was given to Amrabat, Erik ten Hag was forced to obviously take Amrabat off the field of play, because he knew to it that he was like 1 foul away from obviously getting a red card. And it weakened us a little bit in the midfield. However, Kobe Menu came in through, but his impact was not always that felt. It was not felt into that midfield. And I think even the substitutions were a little bit really opening us in the midfield. Yet they are supposed to be aimed at really strengthening us in the midfield, especially if Erik ten Hag went ahead to bring in Kobe Menu and said, all right, let me try to say to each that the game is 3-1. Let me get off Anthony and let me add another body into the midfield, because that body was really needed, and you're having Kobe Menu, Amrabat, and Scott McTominay in the midfield. Then you shift Bruno Fernandes onto the right wing and see to it that stuff happens. I think they're going to have to act better, but he opted to go in for that, but it never really worked well like a charm for the club of Manchester United. Then 3 offsides to Galatasaray and 2 offsides to Man United, 5 corners to Galatasaray and 3 corners to the club of Man United. And that's how everything really went ahead to obviously happen and really go on. I don't know what's wrong with the people. I'm going to have to put up the table, because they are putting Copenhagen ahead of us, yet they are considering the goal difference. Yet the Champions League is not about the goal difference. The Champions League is all about the head-to-head. We went ahead to put 3 goals, passed them away from home, and they never really put any at home. So we have that goal advantage. But right now, Copenhagen is really playing against Bayern Munich, and that game is still 0-0, and all we need is Bayern Munich to beat this side. If Bayern Munich beats them, then the rest will be history, and we'll obviously be looking in for other permutations. I come in from a country known as Uganda, and it's a country that has gone ahead to suffer through these permutations. The permutations have all been seen, especially after my country had spent close to how many years? I think 38 years without going to the African Cup of Nations. Every time it was not in our hands. We had to pray for our opponent to obviously do it for us to qualify. So that's how ugly it used to get for the club of Manchester United. But all in all, you really understand that that's the game of football, and that's how things really go on. Let's go into your comments. John Sozi, are we losing the Champions League? Obviously, one of our foot is in the Champions League and the other one is out, because we failed to make our own destiny tonight. We had a chance to make our own destiny tonight, and Andrew Onana has been the reason as to why we've not gone ahead to make our own destiny tonight. The chance was there. We went 3 times ahead, and this team came up and really leveled. Thanks for the service. Thank you, John Sozi, for watching in through. Then John Biamokama, thanks, brother, but also Ten Hag substitutes. He has rushed to take off Amrabat. I really understand everyone who tells me that Amrabat rushed to take off, that Ten Hag rushed to take off Amrabat. In a game like that, all you would like to see was simple. Make your midfield compact. That is it. Make your midfield compact. add Kobe Menu into the mix, Bruno Fernandes into the mix, Kobe Menu into the mix, and then start to play a low block a little bit. Because even if we went ahead for the ball and went for it, did we get results? You know, the third goal is a counter-attack. But you ask yourself, why was a team like Man United that was leading by 3-1 committing to those levels? You know, why should we commit to those levels? You know, those are questions that have to be answered by Eric Ten Hag too. Then Maurice Onana should be benched. He's not going to be benched, trust me. He's not going to be benched. He's going to be kept into that goal because Eric Ten Hag bought him for £50 million and he's not going to bench him. Alex Gracias, Onana got us out of the Champions League. That is it. If he happened to go out, he's going to be the reason as to why you're out. Waswa Alan, hi Aradi, hi Waswa Alan. Then Kelvin Mosota, the goalkeeper, has to be dropped or he will cause Eric Ten Hag fired. I think we might go to the UEFA Europa League. I'm sorry to say, but I see our team going to the UEFA Europa League. That is it. That's where I see ourselves playing next season. That is it. Then, Happy Chris, no one to blame except Andrew Onana. And guys, it's over. It's not yet over. It's only over. Hear me out. It's only over if at all Copenhagen wins against Bayern Munich. That is it. If they get a draw at Bayern Munich, that's when it's going to be over. Because if they get a draw at Bayern Munich and they win at home against Galatasaray, then they'll find themselves in a situation where they'll put up a stretch of 8 points. And if at all we beat Bayern Munich, we'll be having 7. You get? So even if they win against Bayern Munich tonight, they'll go to 7 points. You know? So all you have to do to stay into the calculations, to stay into the permutations, this team should obviously find itself beating Copenhagen. Bayern should beat Copenhagen. That is it. Then Omal Twinomogisha, Onana lacks quick reaction towards a ball. I don't know. We'll hit with 2 goals and we just allow in as quickly as possible. We never allowed in as quickly as possible because the first goal went in through in the 11th minute. Then Bruno went ahead to put in another goal after, I think, 6 minutes. And then we considered the first goal after 12 minutes when Bruno had gone ahead to make it 2. That is it. So, Onana is to blame, guys. Muhumuza Sam, my God, all right. Asimo Dennis, we will beat Bayern Munich. Yeah, I know we'll beat Bayern Munich at Old Trafford, you know, because by the time they come back, even other players will be returning from injury and be having a very good go at them. But it depends on the result in Copenhagen. That is it. Asimo Dennis, we are now on God's grace. That is it. Alan is saying game over. It's game over, that's it. Because we've gone ahead to give our chance away. We've gifted our chance away. Abraham Chizito, let Ten Hag make Onana on the bench. Bendeil stand between the stitches for the next games. And there was a feeling that because this goalkeeper was in from Fenerbahce and he knew exactly what the atmosphere was like at that stadium, they would have gone ahead to put him between the stitches. But for me, Andrew Onana going in between the stitches was okay. But the way we concede is really childish. That is really unforgivable. And if at all Manchester United, the club, he doesn't get his salary this week. That's it. He doesn't get his salary this week. So that's what I'm going to have to do and really get it going. So we go to Onana mistake, continue killing us. He didn't want us to play UEFA from day one. Now Europa is on our way. That is it. We might end up playing this UEFA Europa. And remember, there is a game to play. You know, it starts from the playoffs. Then we go to the. It starts with the playoffs. Then after the playoffs, we go to the round of 16. You know, Thursday night football, when you're obviously trying to fight your way through to get where you deserve to be in the table, it's not something good and great. So For my case, I really believe we've gotten done by Andre Onana. With David De Gea, we would be topping this group. That is it. That is it. But bygones are bygones, and don't cry for spoiled milk. David De Gea is gone. You cannot get him back at the club of Man United. His era came to an end. Ahim Siwe Humphrey, Ten Hag is just waiting time at the club, has no tactics. I don't really agree with you. If you see how we really get those 3 goals, Ten Hag had a very good prep. Sorry about that. Ten Hag had a very good prep, and that prep resulted into us getting 3 goals ahead of this team. I cannot blame Eric Ten Hag for the free kicks. If those goals came into open play, I would have gone ahead to say Ten Hag doesn't have tactics to obviously defend. But these 2 goals come from a free kick. It's a source of free kick set pieces, and it goes directed. It is directed to the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper just lets us down like that. So I don't really see where Eric Ten Hag comes in here to be blamed. Ban Onana, that is Ting Onana. One will say that Andre Onana might have gone ahead to bet. Never know. Then Ogononya Godwin. Onana is not the problem of Man United. The coach is the problem. He's always making bad substitutions. Now, is he the reason as to why we considered the 2 goals? Guys, let's have a different mindset altogether. Look at that game very well. In 18 minutes, we had 2 goals. Credit goes to the manager. 12 minutes later, Andre Onana gifts. Is it Andre Onana who tells him to really do those gifts? Is he the one? Is it Eric Ten Hag who tells Bruno Fernandes to make a stupid foul that resulted into the second goal? So guys, this is not about Eric Ten Hag. It's about Andre Onana and how he went ahead to obviously cost the club of money tonight. Bruno makes stupid fouls and makes Ziyech scoring. For the first one, it was really called for because the player was obviously getting into the final third of the pitch. But one would have said that he would have gone ahead not to foul him and obviously try to see what comes out of that, But the second foul he makes that results into a free kick, he was really one of the worst that I've gone ahead to see the team of Man United went ahead to do. Then Pikisa Herbert, hello bro. It's me, Herbert, watching you from Kansanga. Sometimes I blame Helkindang for allowing David De Gea to leave it. It makes me to remember. Guys, however much you remember about him, he'll never come back at Man United. He'll never. So all you need to understand is simple. Eric Ten Hag is not the reason we lost today. Andre Onana is the reason we lost today. Moya Precious, Man United is just unlucky, and Onana lacks consistency in his goal keeping. He needs competition, please. You can't do that in the goalkeeping situation, because when you happen to do that, you'll obviously cost yourself and find yourself going out of direction. A goalkeeper like Andre Onana needs to be knowing that I'm the first choice goalkeeper for Arsenal. That is it. And then Ben David needs to be knowing that I'm the second choice goalkeeper for Arsenal. You shouldn't really create such ruckus into the goalkeeping department. But Andre Onana costed us on the night. Fab Emma, you always praise Onana for nothing. He won't improve. But let's be realistic. Andre Onana has been good. Ever since that penalty save of Copenhagen, Andre Onana has been good. But today, he has costed us. When did Andre Onana last cost us a game? I don't remember. I think it was when we were playing, is it Brentford? But right now, he has come back to his normal mode. But he looked good. He looked good. You also knew it that in the previous games, he was really looking good. Look at the game of Man City. It would have gone ahead to go sour, more than 3-7. But he stopped 3 1v1s against Erling Haaland. Then Gift Fury. Ten Hag is our totally big problem because he tried to bench all the players that they are not playing well. Guys, I'm not going even to reply to that, because if anyone comes in through to that blames Eric Ten Hag, then that person really football is not meant for you guys. I'm sorry to say that. Fake Man United, number 1 goalkeeper. Onana is the problem, and you cannot obviously pile all the problems of Andre Onana to Eric Ten Hag, because all those goals have not been hard. They have been easy saves that we're supposed to make. Asimwe Dennis, Minus goalkeeping, boys fought a good fight today. Thank you, Asime Dennis. These boys have been running all over the pitch. They've put their bodies on the line. They've gone ahead to score those goals. They've done exactly what Ten Hag really told them. If Andre Onana doesn't do all those two mistakes, we walk away with a 3-1 win away from Galatasaray. So it's not about the manager. It's about Andre Onana. The boys fought a very good fight today. That is it. Thank you, Asime Dennis. Very, very good message coming in from you. Ahimbi Humphrey, don't blame Onana for me. I blame the whole team. Ten Hag has to change the style of play because nowadays that style of play United is using is no more. Guys, who tells you it's no more? Who tells you it's no more? I've always come out and really told people that look back at how Arteta is really playing, even right now at Arsenal. Even when he came in at Arsenal, it took him, I think, 2 seasons to obviously gauge a style of play at Arsenal. And that's what Erik ten Hag is doing. It's going to take him some time to obviously get in those style of play. So you think that style of play makes Andre Onana concede 2 goals? Let's talk about the positives and let's really highlight the negative. The negative is Andre Onana on the night. And guys, smash the like button. We are having close to 8 people watching in through, and only 11 have gone ahead to smash the like button. Heights Studios, imagine if it was Greenwood in Facundo's position. Obviously, goals today. It would have gone ahead to rain goals today. It would have gone ahead to rain goals today. That is it. You're right, Heights Studios. Fab Emma, David, hope we are out. We are not yet out. We are not yet out. I think the result of Bayern Munich is the one that's obviously going to take us out. The result of Bayern Munich today, if they beat Copenhagen and Bayern comes in through and we beat them, and Copenhagen doesn't allow Galatasaray to beat them at home, then we will still be in. But a lot of permutations have to come into play to explain to you how we are going to be into this. Imagine if it was Greenwood in Facundo's position. Yeah, Facundo got really a very good, I think twice, but he couldn't score. Fab Emma, no more going through. It's really hard and it will require God to see to it that we go through. That is it. And Moses Luaboni, why did Erik ten Hag change the last team against Everton, mostly in the midfield? But guys, the team that started before Ten Hag made any change had 3 goals on the score sheet, and we had conceded 1 because of the Andre Onana foul. Sorry, the Andre Onana bad or poor goalkeeping. Now, changing the team, it was really called for because Bissaka came in for Dallo, Amrabat came in for Kobe Menu, Anthony came in for Marcus Rashford, who was really away. So, what did you want Erik ten Hag to do? He's going to obviously do that, and what he did gave us 3 goals. But Andre Onana costed us 3 goals. 3 goals. 3 goals. Newcastle is going to humiliate us on the weekend. I think we might do better. We are scoring goals. That's the most important bit of it, But we just need to see to it that Andre Onana doesn't really do all those mistakes that's going to do. Vinny Jr., I'm sad today. Everyone is sad today. Then we're having Ronnie Chris. If we can win these easy teams, then how can we win? If we can't win these easy teams, Old Trafford is Old Trafford. Old Trafford is Old Trafford. And trust me, it can obviously come into a heroic qualification for the club of Man United. James Docker coming in from Ghana. David, I don't understand about Erik ten Hag. Was it by force that he should make changes for every player to play? I won't blame Onana. Thomas, I'm not going to reply to you guys. Everyone is blaming Erik ten Hag today and saying that Andre Onana is not the one to blame. I don't know where you're watching this game of football from, but the fact is the guy is the one to blame. Is going to hate to cost us. Manje Richard, letting David De Gea was a mistake. A team like Man United has to be with the 2 goalkeepers. He should have stayed for a few seasons. Like which team has two good goalkeepers? Even at Arsenal, when they brought in, let's even go back at Arsenal. When Martinez came up and showed up that he can be a very good goalkeeper and he was threatening the position of Bernard Leno, guess what happened? He was sold to Aston Villa, £20 million. When Ramsdale came in through and was competing with Bernard Leno was sold to Fulham. Right now, David Raya is in, and Ramsdale is going to be sold in the summer. No team has two quality goalkeepers. That team is not there. That team is not there. You must be having a first choice goalkeeper and the understudy goalkeeper. So David De Gea went, and that will obviously not come in through because those goals that are going to have to go in today, they're all on Andre Onana. They're all Andre Onana. Two babyish shots going past him, and the second one, he's the one who directs it into the back of the net. He tries to grasp it like this with his hands, and it doesn't go where he wants it. And guess what happens? It goes into the back of the net. He's the one to blame. He's the one to blame. Let's not take the blame off Andre Onana. He's the guy to blame. Asimwe Dennis, hey, my friend, punishment is too big. No salary. He just need to be on the bench. Maybe he'll learn. No. He shouldn't be getting a salary this week. He shouldn't be earning a salary this week. Tomorrow, said Derek, all we need is good center backs. Where the center backs, the problem today. The center backs were not a problem today. They were not. And trust me, no single occasion I saw our central defense really exposed. That is it. The center backs were not the problem. Then Moses, Laboni, we seriously need Greenwood back. Yeah, but I don't really see him getting back. The loan is obviously going to be a long season loan and will return in the preseason, and I think they're going to loan him back. Gabasharu, United problem today is Onana. That is it. Thank you very much. Sendagire Joshua, it's Onana mistakes. That is it. Then we are having Frank Igwe. Onana failed to live up to the expectations tonight, most especially the second goal. He would have saved it if he didn't come out before the ball. The third one, the first one, and the second one, all those goals would have been saved by this guy. Tony Bunya, United Neda, meaning that no United. Then Katebeda Richard, Onana is yet not settled. Very poor performance. He has been having some brilliant performances recently, but today he has gone ahead to really get all what he has gone ahead to washed and has gone ahead to put it in the mud. Hamoud Khan Reza, I blame fully the Glazers. Guys, I really feel like the song of the Glazers is coming to an end for me because they won't go. They won't go. Even when they are trying to really grind out things, particularly as Jim Ratcliffe takes over the club of Man United, an agreement has not yet been reached, even this week. So we don't know what's going to happen. Anolini Aliguma, I'm beginning to doubt Onana. His mistakes are so childish. Yeah, that is it. And by the way, if he goes ahead to put up such mistakes, then a call will have to be made. A public call will have to be made to see to it that Bendeir gets into the starting level of Man United. Aliguma, Bendeir should start against Newcastle. Don't expect that. Andre Onana is going to be in the stitches. That is it. Alal Dickens, why should we blame Ten Hag, my friends? I don't see him having problem, but Onana, yeah, that's it. We scored 3 goals. Onana cost us 3 goals. How does Erik Ten Hag become the problem? How does Andre Onana become the problem? Andre Onana does betting. An investigation should be put up on Andre Onana. That's it. By the way, seriously, an investigation should be put up on Andre Onana. That is it. It should be put up on Andre Onana. In this era, where players are really having deals with betting companies, you don't know what really happens. Because how can you give away those 3 goals like that? How can you? I don't really understand how you can really give out such goals. I don't really understand. But smash like button. We are having 8 people watching Toronto 11. I'm going to smash like button. United will give us headache for all of this season. All right. Pambo TV, he's a gambler, period. All right. Then Dan Champion, Anthony and Scott McTominay were not supposed to play, but they had a very good game. To me, Anthony played his best game for Man United today. Today, Anthony put in a shift like never before. And even Scott McTominay, he really did his job, He really did his job today. Then Thomas Donker, David, we are all united. Even last season, he makes mistakes when the player we are playing well. For example, subbing Anthony at time he's playing well. He the same time today. For Amrabat, it's a 50-50. 1, he had a yellow card. Now, what if he left him on the field of play and he got a second yellow card? You know what we're going to have to say? Ten Hag is a very bad manager. How could he keep a player in a sensitive position of the pitch, yet he's just one booking away from being sent off? You would have gone ahead to say that. So don't blame Eric Ten Hag, because the two goals we concede are not as a result of that midfield. That is it. No, it's a free kick. Bruno Fernandes stupidly fouls Hakimi Ziyech. You get? He did it stupidly. And the free kick came in through, and Andre Onana costed us. Then the third one, why does Andre Onana has to get off his goal line? Yet Luke Shaw is closing down onto the striker. He did it in the third goal that we conceded against Galatasaray. You know, he even went down before Icardi chipped that ball. Varane had closed down on Icardi because Icardi is not the first player. Varane had closed him down on. And guess what happened? And Onana went down before the guy even hit the ball. That is it. Mwanje Richard Hannington, why is Onana untouchable? He's going to be the first choice goalkeeper of Man United. That is it. However much you're going to give our opinions, but he's going to be the first choice goalkeeper of the club of Manchester United. That is it. Ali Guma, individual mistakes have cost us this season across all players. You're right. But Anthony has played well today. Yeah, I'm giving him his flowers. Anthony has played his best game for the club of Man United. And lastly, I'm having Heights Studios, United player, better only mistakes from the goalkeeper. I back Eric Ten Hag. And for everyone who really thinks that sacking Eric Ten Hag is going to be the problem, then you need to go out and really look out onto how teams have gone to transform. Arteta right now is coaching, I think, his fourth season at Arsenal. He came in through in the December of 2019. And this is his fourth season at Arsenal. That is Mikel Arteta. And he never even performed as Eric Ten Hag performed for his first season. That is it. But Eric Ten Hag is also fighting for his second season in a row to see to it that he gets where he deserves to be with the club of Man United. And people are here slating him. That is very, very, very unbelievable that people are really calling in for Eric Ten Hag to go. Yet the goalkeeper that he signed is going to have to cost us a stupid mistake. Now, thank you guys for watching through. Rokan David is my name, and hope you guys are really having a fantastic stay wherever you are. I'm signing out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name. For everyone who's going to have to put in a shift today and be part of this live, thank you. I love you, and keep it United Matters. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm having Pikisa Habat. I love the way Anthony played today. The blame will be for Onana only. That is it. Onana costed us. I don't want us to really be inward looking again. We know the person who costed us the game. It's Andre Onana. That is it. And if at all we keep shifting away from the causer or from the person responsible for what we're going to have to really fall on today, then we're not going to heal. Onana was the reason we lost the game of football today. That is it. It's Andre Onana who costed us. Let us fight for UEFA League, for UEFA Europa League. All right. We wait and see how that's going to pan out. But in Bayern, it's 44 minutes played. Bayern Munich 0, Copenhagen 0. So if it keeps like that, they'll be having 5 points and we will be at the bottom of the table. That is it. So a lot on stake for my club of Man United, but let's see how things really pan out. Rokan David is my name. Thank you guys for watching through. I'm out. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys.